Hi folks, my name is Dan Germain and I'm here to give you a quick overview of the game Singularity Lab. This is a 1 to 5 player competitive puzzle sliding game that plays in about an hour. In the Singularity Lab, each player takes on the role of competing scientist, where you will be drafting the most valuable computer chips in order to insert them into the brain of your artificially intelligent robot, which will then create patterns to meet scoring criteria, allowing you to advance along the singularity track. Let's have a quick overview of the components. There is a central board that contains the conveyor belt with computer chips, a series of scoring criteria here that will change between rounds, scientist pieces that will be varied with turn order, the singularity track here, as well as virus tokens. Each player will begin with a player mat showing the artificial intelligent robot, the intelligence meter here, as well as the special actions that can be taken based on your level of robot intelligence. The game is played over a series of 3 rounds. In each round, each player will be drafting 3 tiles, which then get placed into the brain, at which point we will then move to a scoring phase. Let's look at the scoring. At the beginning of the game, 4 different scoring conditions are placed onto the board, each relating to a different region in the brain. Agility requires players to have all their blue tiles be in a row. Creativity requires players to have their creativity icon next to an adjacent emotion tile. Memory requires players to collect one of these 2 icons, and they can be anywhere spread out on their board. And finally, emotions in the temporal lobe require players to have a continuous region in order to score points. Scoring, once established here, is then indicated with each round, the first round being task 1, and so we know we're going to be scoring agility and creativity. We will then move to task 2 in the second round. We'll score memory and emotions, and then the final round in the game, we'll be scoring the entire brain, every region. To set up the round, players will draft from this conveyor belt, but first they will be set up with the computer chips in descending order of intelligence values. I've already set these 2 up, so let's go ahead and set up the last one. Chips will be pulled from the bag and placed in order. If at any time a virus symbol shows up, we pause immediately, and all players must take a virus token and place it in one of the matching regions. So in this case, it is a yellow region, so the frontal lobe must get a virus. That tile is then discarded, and we continue to draw chips, placing them in intelligence order. Since I just grafted this as a 0, it then gets put in the first place, and these slide down, and we continue until all the tiles have been placed on the conveyor belt. Now we're ready to begin the round. Starting with the first in turn order, the player makes a choice of which of any spot they would like to pick. The further they go up the conveyor belt, the sooner they will go on the next turn. This would be the first to go. This would be the last person to go in the round. Once a player selects their position, they look to see if they've landed on any of these white spots. This allows them to immediately take a software update tile and place it next to their board for them to use later, as long as they meet the required criteria on their intelligence meter. The further up they are, the better software update they can perform. Once they've established a place they're going to pick, they grab the tile and they place it into their intelligence meter. At that point, the next player will go, they will do the same thing, drop the tile, and so on. Once all players have placed their token in the intelligence, they then move up on the intelligence track equal to the number on their token. Then, simultaneously, so all players can do this at the same time, you will grab your tile and decide where in the brain you're going to slide the chip in. Now, each brain has a spot on each of the 4 brain regions, and those are the only spots available to slide the token in. And this is where the puzzle comes into effect, because you're not simply just placing the tile, you actually have to slide it in. And what that does is it causes all tokens in the row to shift along with it. This player has chosen to do that, but they've also chosen that they see that they have virus and they want to get rid of that virus. So what they can do is they can, once per turn, use their intelligence to try to remove a virus or take any of these other system diagnostics, such as swapping or shifting. And so in this case, this player wants to shift this tile over in order to remove the virus. So they will pay 3, 1, 2, 3 to take the shift action. And anytime a tile shifts into a location with a virus, the virus gets destroyed. So we'll shift that in, move that there. Now the reason they also wanted to do that was because they know creativity is scoring this round. Here they've set up an adjacency, so they'll be able to score points at the end of the round. After all players have completed their inserting their chip, they then move on to the next round, and the player furthest up track will take the next pick at the tile, and so on until all these chips have been inserted into the brain this round, at which point we stop and we score, and then move on to the next task. The game ends after you've reached task number 3. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you get this game to the table soon to try it out. Thanks.